our Corey Backlund and Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying good morning to you. And we got a big announcement for those who do not know.
If you haven't heard, there is a brand new unified world champion, and he will be here today. The King, Jerry Lawler. And not only will he be here, he's going to be in a match. He's going to be going against Big Daddy Cyrus in a match here today. In addition to that, the Moondogs, Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert, little action that they've been involved in, we'll be talking about. Scott Studd is going to be here, going to be going against Reggie B. Fine.
I like that. And we've got a little update on Wolfie D and PG-13 that'll be coming along.
Yeah,
you remember last week what happened to Wolfie's eye, and we'll have an update on it.
He squirted ink, or we don't know what it was exactly, but something in his eye last week.
So that's what we've got going, and son of a gun, I tell you what, it is going to be a big one, a great opener with the King against Big Daddy Cyrus. Our main event is going to be the Moondogs going against Rich and Gilbert, and in between a lot of real good stuff. Let's start it off. We're taking a look back, Dave, at the action that took place.
Yes, indeed. This is going to be the match between the King, Jerry Lawler, and Sid Vicious, the unified world title hanging in the balance.
You know the story. Let's see what happened in this particular match. Vicious rushing Lawler in, whips him across the ring. Oh, he caught him with a clothesline. It up, and the only thing you can learn is, look at this, straight up in the air
for this unified world title. Big right hand from Sid Vicious. You have to see him in person, fans, just to see what a huge dude this Sid Vicious is. Paul Driver himself, he does.
Vicious up there taking a while to give his Shakespearean soliloquy about, oh, run your mouth and take that.
The King!
Pile driver. And Sid Vicious, 1, 2, and Vicious kicks out.
Going for that throw slam.
He throttled him, too. Choke slammed him right down on the mat. Misses the big leg. Lawler snaps down the strap. Shoots a left hand. Bouncing Vicious head back.
I got Bill.
And the referee, Bill Rush, just trampled by Lawler when Vicious slung him off.
And when you know it, here is the Spellbinder running down the aisle.
The Spellbinder comes out with a referee down, and he nails Vicious, puts him down. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. We have a new unified world heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler. And now here comes Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones. They jump Sid from behind, double team him while he was facing down the Spellbinder, who accidentally hit him while Lawler was holding. The two of them send Vicious in, double clotheslining. I wouldn't deny that Vicious deserves it, but from a couple of vagabonds that run the country like these guys, I don't know that I can even be happy about seeing Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones beating up on Sid.
I agree with you. My sentiments exactly. Big Daddy Cyrus, Crusher Bones. These guys are tough, Lance, and let me tell you, they're putting it to the former unified world champion, Sid Vicious.
As Big Daddy had him up for a pile driver, Crusher Bones came down and spiked him into the mat. Well, I'll tell you one thing, that Big Daddy and Bones, they are opportunists. They jumped him from behind and really pounded on Sid.
They did indeed, but the surprising thing to me is that Spellbinder is just standing around there, not even attempting to help
Yeah,
Sid.
you would think with the relationship that they had, and Sid was over, he was telling him, what are you doing? You cost me the title and all that. Boom, he got jumped from behind, and then when he needed help, he turned his back on him and walked right out of there.
Watched.
We got to take a break, and we'll be back. We got the King coming up in a moment. How sweet it is! The new champion! And they're tickle to death. They're no more tickle than he is, I guarantee you that. It was a long dry spell, and it really ate on him. Congratulations to the new king and champ. I gotta tell you, this is really gonna be sweet because I know it was eating on you. First, the way he got the title, and then the fact you couldn't get your shots back at him, and now you got that belt.
Well, you know, you always like to say what goes around comes around, and I felt that the way Sid Vicious got the title away from me was maybe not the most admirable way, but maybe the way I got it back from him was not the most admirable way. So, like I said, what goes around comes around.
Take it.
Sid Vicious, yeah, thank you very much. I will say this, you know, I stood out here last week and I said that if I could win this belt, and if Sid Vicious were to be a man of his word, it would be almost too good to be true. But it seems like the good things have happened, and it seems like it is true. Sid said that he wouldn't darken the doors of the USWA again.
He did say
he lost the title, and he's not here. And all I can say is, well, I'm not going to say good riddance, but it's kind of pleasant to be out here not having to worry about Sid Vicious looking over your shoulder.
Had to be a little shock to him when Spellbinder turned his back on him, too, boy. It wouldn't help him after Sid making him the #1 contender and all of that.
Well, you know, I think it just shows you what a jerk Spellbinder is. That's something that you don't you know, you don't usually try to do something like that. Well, these guys have been partners. The situation with Bill Dundee, the situation with Brian Christopher and myself, we've all been partners in the past, but we also always realize that there may come a time when the promoters or when the USWA want you to wrestle against each other. And that day has come, you know, for us. And so you expect something like that. But in a situation where you've been partners and a couple of jerks like this Crusher Bones and Big Daddy Cyrus jump on your partner from behind, you know, you just don't walk out on the guy. You just don't leave him laying there. That takes a special kind of jerk.
Well, you know what kind of guys they must be, because they love that jumping from behind. You've got Big Daddy Cyrus in a single match here today, so I don't have to warn you. You've been down that road too many times.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You know, they've come in the area, and he shot his mouth off last week down there a little bit, shot his mouth off here last week. They won the Battle Royal. We're going to see what they can do in there right now, as a matter of fact. I'm just looking forward to it.
That's
I
right.
just want to say, I also said that I couldn't do this without the support of the fans, and I had the support there Monday night.
Okay, good luck to you, Jerry. We're tickled to death in here with that belt being back around the right. The ring is over there, Big Daddy. And Big Business Brown tagging along, yeah.
Well, Jerry the King Lawler. Champion. Well, all I've got to say, King, is Big Daddy Cyrus has made his presence known. And I will make my presence known, not only to you, but to Brian Christopher, Superstar Bill Dundee. Oh, and not to mention I made my presence known to Mr. Sid Vicious Monday night. So you say you're a champion. Well, let's see what kind of champion you are. Let's see you put that belt up right now for a title match.
Right away, the challenge starts.
Let me just say this, Big Daddy Cyrus. You don't get to be a champion by being stupid. And if I were to put this belt up right now, not only myself, but everybody watching and everybody over here would think I was real stupid. So no, this is not a title match. You're not the top contender. I wrestle the top contenders. I'll wrestle you, but the belt's not at stake.
Hey, there's your answer.
That's just what kind of champion I thought he was.
Well, you get in and find out what kind of wrestler he is. It's Big Daddy Cyrus. Let's go up now to Corey Macklin.
Okay, we're ready to go, lads. An opening bout today on USWA Championship Wrestling. First introducing at a weight of 324 pounds from the open roads of the USA. Here is Big Daddy Cyrus with Big Business Brown in his corner. His opponent, weighing in 235 pounds, wrestling from Memphis, Tennessee, is the Unified World Heavyweight Champion, Jarrett the King Lawler. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Bill Rush, the referee, now to Lance Russell.
Crowd stirred up, ready to go. Bell time, and here we go, Dave.
Lawler pointing out to referee Bill Rush, Big Business Brown in the briefcase over in the corner, reminding him to keep an eye on him. Otherwise, he says he'll have to take matters into his own hands and punch him out, too.
That's no bad idea.
Yeah.
We're just ready for most anything today. Yeah, the scoop slam from Big Daddy Cyrus. This guy is tough. He irritates you with the mouth. We saw him jump from behind. I've seen him do that three times since they've been in the territory. But he is rugged, no doubt about that. Whoa. Ripping that right hand on Lawler.
He's wearing those gloves on the hands, and he's used one of them there. Lawler moves out of the way this time, and Big Daddy Cyrus finds nothing but the turnbuckles to greet him. He shakes it off, waiting in the middle of the ring. And they tie it up again near the corner. Lawler forcing him back into the turnbuckles, and boom, with a couple of right fists. He's not afraid to use them.
No, nobody ever accused him of that. Aha! Oh, he used it again. Big Daddy Cyrus outsmarted him. He was telling everybody, look how smart I am, and wham, the right hand brought reality back.
Lawler with a couple of words for Big Business Brown, who's wandering around the corner over here. Lawler's backed into that corner. That's not good. Now out of it, but hammered down to the mat by Big Daddy Cyrus.
Big main event, Wildfire Tommy Rich, Dangerous Doug Gilbert against the Moondogs later on this very day. Hammer in the head on the top turnbuckle as Big Daddy Cyrus has a distinct weight advantage on Lawler. Jerry trying to shake it off. Pretty hard to do that when they're in there with a chokehold right at your gullet. Referee Bill Rush trying to get Big Daddy back. And the whip.
Into the midsection, coming off the ropes. Lawler down on the mat. Big Business Brown was yelling, some people's champion you got here. Yes, he is. And he's getting hammered right now by Big Daddy Cyrus. Look at Big Business Brown from outside grabbing him. Choking and got his hands wrapped around the King's throat. Lawler on his feet looks at Big Business Brown, who backs about 5 feet back from the ring so he couldn't get to him. And then from behind, Big Daddy Cyrus nails him.
Yeah, that's his M.O. Get behind. Good.
Yeah, the video we saw a little bit earlier, Cyrus did the same thing. He jumped the guy from behind when he attacked Sid Vicious. He just did that with Lawler, came up behind him.
Right hand on top of the head, left hand under the chin, and there's that twisting motion on a guy this big and that powerful. Drops an elbow right at the temple almost. Big Daddy Cyrus Hammers the King. And now whip diagonally. Clothesline. Really, it was a clubbing forearm more than a clothesline. Drops down on Lawler once. Oh! Kicked his way out of it. Boy, at this point, smartest move Jerry made, Dave, was not putting that title up in this match.
That's exactly right. Cyrus, whoa, going for a splash and missed it because Lawler was out of the way. And now the King is up. Oh, there's the strap down. Look out, Big Daddy Cyrus. Here comes the unified world champion right at you.
Snap the strap and look out for the King. He flies off that corner. Whoa, here comes Frazier.
Referee's calling for the bell. That'll be a disqualification on Big Daddy Cyrus. But meanwhile, it's 2 against 1 as they both are in there with Lawler. They whip him into the rope. Big double boot coming off of there. Lawler down on the mat.
Sailing down. Big Daddy Cyrus, 300 plus, bouncing down on the King. Jerry has already gotten the win by disqualification, but that's not doing him a whole lot of good right now.
Well, one hammers him, and then as he bounces off of that, the other one nails him. Now they're both popping him back in the corner with right hand. The King hanging in the corner. Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones both working him over. Here comes Superstar Bill Dundee rolling into the ring, and all of a sudden, Big Business Brown calls him off. Brian Christopher in to help out.
Christopher and Dundee hit the ring, and Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones go out. Now, Ron, you're not the winner. You lost it by disqualification when Crusher Bones came rolling in.
Yeah, that was automatic, and the referee instantly signaled the disqualification. Lawler being helped back to his feet by the referee and Bill Dundee. It was 2 against 1, and in an unfair fight, a lot of things can happen, and that's exactly what that was.
Few words exchanged between Dundee and Christopher there. They were both in there to help the King, but they were kind of chicken fighting with their mouths over there on it. We got to take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Got a match coming up here in just a moment. Brian Christopher will be in action in the ring. But first, before we get that match underway, I'd like to take just a moment here and talk to the superstar, Bill Dundee. Superstar and Brian Christopher. Interesting situation between those two in recent weeks. And see if we can get a few comments from Bill about that as he makes his way over through the crowd. That's a big hug from one of the fans and some high fives along the way. And here is Bill. Bill.
Mr. Brown, how are you, sir?
Doing just fine. Got an interesting situation going on. And, of course, new unified champion. Lots of big things in the USWA.
Well, Dave, just like I told everybody last week, when the King makes his mind up, he's going to do something he usually doesn't. I told the whole world that I felt like he could beat Sid Vicious, and he did that. Now, here's another thing. Brian Christopher. You remind me of me about a few years ago because you're a cocky, arrogant, good athlete. And I used to think that's what the superstar was. But like I said before, son, when Lawler was running around with the WWF, I was in WCW. You was king of the walk, brother. You was ruling the roost. But there was no other roosters in the yard. There was just you, brother. And when the superstar came back, I wanted to wrestle him for the belt. And he hasn't really done it yet. So, like I said before, Brian, you never beat anybody to win that belt you got. So I'm going to wrestle you for it. And after I do that, Kingfish, I've been chasing you a long time, brother, and I got your number now. I can wrestle you just...
Here comes Brian Christopher right here, and he doesn't look all that happy either.
Yeah, that's right. Here I come, and I'm going to come out every time that you sit out here and start running your mouth and start lying. I want you to shut your big, fat mouth. To be such a little, short guy, you sure do have a big, fat mouth, Bill Dundee. For weeks, I've listened to you say, you want me so bad. You want my belt. You weren't here. Jerry Lawler wasn't here when I won that belt. Well, Bill Dundee, I gave you a shot at my belt just last week. Now, where were you? I was standing in the ring. I was waiting on you. Where were you, Bill Dundee? You didn't show up.
Well, let me ask you a question. First of all, you're uninvited. Nobody invited you out here. This is my interview. Nobody asked you. And, okay, let me ask you this. What kind of a car you drive?
What kind of car do I drive? I drive a Blazer, a Chevy Blazer. What does that have to do with anything, Dundee?
You asked me a question, I'm going to answer it. A Chevy Blazer, $12,000, $15,000 worth, and it's probably four-wheel drive. And it was snowing, and it was icy. If you walk out into the parking lot, you'll see a big blue Mercedes, and they don't do real good in the ice and the snow. And if some punk kid like you runs into it, I got to fix it or my insurance goes through the roof. $50,000 car, brother, $12,000 Chevrolet.
Oh, my gosh. So that's your excuse? A little bit of snow on the ground, that's your excuse for not showing up? You wanted me so bad, but a little snow kept you out of it? Well, Dundee, I've seen your car. I've seen that Mercedes of yours, and I've seen all the smoke coming out of the back of it. And the truth be known, you've had that Mercedes ever since you could drive, haven't you? So that makes a Mercedes about, what, 60 years old? It's time to get a new car.
I wish it was 60 years old, because it'd be worth a lot more than it is today. And let me tell you something, you snot-nosed brat. Your mother probably...
Dundee and Christopher into it here. Billy slapped him. Yeah, look out. Brian going right after Dundee and knocked him off his feet right into the crowd. Brian up on the ring apron now. Billy has left. Boy. Brian popped by Billy. Billy slapped it. That was not a wise decision. Brian immediately came right back at him. And those two...
Fire is just popping between them, Dave. No question about it. We saw even when they were out there just a little bit, they were around each other. They had a sparks going right there. I think we're about ready to go to Corey.
Okay, guys, we're ready for this one. One ball, 10-minute time limit. First introducing 232 pounds, Memphis, Tennessee, Chris Frazier. His opponent, 222 pounds, wrestling from Memphis, Tennessee, currently the USWA heavyweight champion, Too Sexy, Brian Christopher. Bill Rush is the official referee for this one. We're ready, Brian.
All right, Brian Christopher set to go against Chris Frazier. Christopher, a heavy favorite to win the match. A non-title match here, too.
I don't want to be Chris Frazier. Whoa.
Did you hear what Brian said?
What did he say?
He said, you look a lot like Bill Dundee to me.
Right hand is just what he wanted to do to Dundee. And again, Christopher really hot. As Dave said, he's a big favorite anyhow. He comes in that mad, and all he wants to do is pound the tar out of anybody that's standing across the ring from him. Brian Christopher just taking Chris Frazier from pillar to post, and there's the whip.
Oh, Frazier moved out of the way. Brian Christopher ended up hitting his shoulder in the turnbuckle. Frazier, center of the ring, fires him across the way, yeah, but he missed. Right with a big kick. 1, 2, it's history. Brian Christopher is the winner, and he is looking ahead, no doubt about it, to the superstar Bill Dundee. Those two want each other in the ring in the worst way, I can tell you.
He vented a little of the anger that he had. It's not all out as long as he and Dundee haven't had a chance to settle things. But he really took the measure of Chris Frazier in a hurry. We've got time, and we're going to be back in just a moment.
Rich and Gilbert have used powder, ink, something like that, working on the eye of Wolfie D, trying to keep PG-13 from being at full strength in recent days. Well, they're not at full strength right now. As I look, I see J.C. Ice headed this way. Wolfie D is not with him. Maybe we can start with an update on Wolfie's situation.
You know, Dave, since 1988, J.C. Ice has been on this TV on and off for 6, 7 years, and I've never seen nothing as disgusting as you, Tommy Rich, and you, Doug Gilbert. And what you did, you came out here and you injured Wolfie D because you know PG-13 is a lot better tag team than you two, boy. So what you did was you figured if we hurt one of them, either the other one will have to face both of us or the title shot's gone. So what I did, I wasn't blowing my chance at a title, so I said I would fight both of you. And I told Wolfie D, I said, stay in the back, Wolfie. No matter what happens, it ain't worth your wrestling career. Because Wolfie wrestling is what feeds him. It's what puts his clothes on his back. It's what makes his family tick. And when punks like you come out and try to take out his eye, you're trying to kill the man. Because if you don't eat, you die, punk. So Wolfie D, he's not here today because I made sure he stayed home. So why? The reason why...
All right, hey, come on, guys. Come on. Rich and Gilbert out here. Gilbert with that same bottle of whatever it is that they sprayed in Wolfie D's eyes last week. They've got Jamie back in the corner. Here's Wolfie. Oh. JC rescued by Wolfie D. JC said Wolfie wasn't here, but he was in fact here and is here right now.
We'll come back. Rich and Gilbert, you had better run and you had better hide. Because come here, Mr. Cameraman. I want everybody to get a good look right here. I want you to see. This is what you have made me live with every day now. My eye, I can't see. The doctor says it can get better. I can get my vision back. But Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert, it's all right. You are trying to take away my career, my dreams. When I was a little boy, all I ever wanted to do was be a big, bad wrestler. Well, here I am. And let me tell you something. You come out here and call us boys. Well, one thing you can't call PG-13 is quitters. Because you can break my arm, you can break my leg, you can put out my eye, but we're going to come get you. And you just remember, it's going to be time to pay the piper. Revenge. Revenge, man.
Wolfie D, J.C. Ice, PG-13. Yeah, they've got Rich and Gilbert coming up later on in the week, too. But I think we just proven one thing. You can't keep Wolfie D out of the action. Let's go to Corey right now. We're about ready for the next match.
Okay, Dave. Can't wait to see PG-13 get the revenge in there. We're ready for action now. One fall, 10-minute time limit for our next bout here on USWA Wrestling. First introducing at a weight of 187 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Edrick Hines. His opponent today making his way to the ring area now. 250 pounds from the open roads of the USA. Here is Crusher Bones with Big Business Brown and Big Daddy Cyrus at ringside. Bill Rush, the referee. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Now, Dr. Lance Russell and Dave Brown.
Referee Bill Rush calling for the bell, and we are underway. Crusher Bones, much, much taller wrestler than Edrick Hines. And you add Big Daddy Cyrus and Big Business Brown in the corner, and it doesn't look good for young Edrick Hines.
You think they're loaded up on one side over here? You got 3 of them with Bones in the ring, the other 2 outside, and poor Edrick has got enough trying to face this big guy, Crusher Bones, by himself. And here they have reinforcements awaiting. Crusher Bones. Big, lanky son of a gun, weighs in at about 250. Backbreaker on Edrick.
Yeah, he caught him with a good backbreaker. They're over near the corner. Crusher Bones off the middle rope, springs back, drops down. Here's a cover. 1, 2. It's over almost as quickly as it started. Crusher Bones with a victory.
Okay, we're going to take time out. We've still got a main event coming up with the Moondogs and Rich and Gilbert. USWA Flashback. Love it. We had our first one. It's a regular feature now on it, and we go back to 1986,
Yes,
Dave.
indeed. Just a couple of names that you're going to recognize. Pat Tanaka, championship wrestler, and Jeff Jarrett.
Yes, sir. They were the Southern Tag Champs. Pat Tanaka had turned on Jeff Jarrett, ended up in a cage match. Our flashback today. Jarrett, third time. Tanaka caught him with that kick. Oh, man. But Jarrett is back up, and look at Tanaka. He can't believe it. Presses him again, and Jeff climbing right back up off the canvas. Goes down. He low-bridged him and put Jeff Jarrett down on the mat. With Jeff in the air. Jeff reverses it. Drives his head into the mat. Tanaka had it reversed on him. Has a cover. 1, 2. He got him! Jeff Jarrett is the winner! He's had that hand raised a good many times. He's the current WWF Intercontinental Champion. Our flashback today, Jeff Jarrett and Pat Tanaka in a cage match. We're about ready for our next one, Mr. Corey Macklin.
Okay, Lance and Dave, we're ready for the next bout. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Making his way to the ring area, along with Sweet Georgia Brown accompanying him. Says he's from every woman's dream. It's Reggie B. Fine. His opponent today, weighing at 229 pounds, wrestling from Atlanta, Georgia, Scott Stud, the opponent today. And in his corner, Miss Texas. Bill Rush, the referee, ready for action in this, which should be a good single bout.
Boy, the fans love this young Scott Stud, and who's out there with him? Miss Texas.
Hey, look, I'm the real stud, brother. And look at this lady. Hey, you know what? I finally got my hair cut because I got tired of these low budget pulling my hair, you understand? So I got to trim down a little bit. And look at this girl there. Not only is she the finest woman in Memphis, man, but she makes that champ look like a skeeter, if you know what I mean. Hey, baby, that's enough.
Get the ring. Little delay tactic from Reggie to prevent getting the match started too quickly, maybe. He's pretty good at doing that. Scott Stud has looked mighty good in the USWA since he's been in the short time we've had him in the area. Reggie B. Fine hands that, what was that, $9? He said $9,000, didn't he? For a coat. Over to security.
I like your first figure.
Miss Texas and Sweet Georgia Brown, both in the quarters over here. And referee Bill Rush with an inspection. That's a good idea. And here we go.
Well, we've said it many times before. Reggie's one of these guys that he's a little deceptive because you listen to that flapping mouth of his. He's always putting somebody down, calling everybody low budgets and this and that. He's got all the physical tools. Brother, you better look out for him, and Scott Stud will find that out because he will sneak one in on you. Big elbow right to the shoulder. Reggie B down on his knees, and once again, Scott Stud scoring with that elbow, snapping the arm of Reggie B. Fine.
Oh, it can't feel good. Scott Stud working on it. Reggie B. Fine down to his knees. Scott Stud not letting up on that left arm. Very effective tackle. Whoa, Reggie's going to try the same thing, and Scott reverses it on him, and Reggie finds himself back in trouble. He was trying to tag Georgia Brown. This is not a mixed match now. This is just a single match, so there was no help forthcoming.
Any port in a storm, as they say. Reggie just wanted to get out of there. Slammed Scott Studd's head right into that top turnbuckle, and referee Bill Rush saying, get out of the corner, and he does. Scoop and a big slam following that. Reminder, Dave, big main event today, Moondogs. Oh, we got a 1 count. Moondogs against Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert later on.
You know, if Reggie hadn't been celebrating so much, he might have had a better chance of getting a 3 count. By the time he finally got around to covering Scott Studd, he only got a count of 1. Reggie very unhappy with the referee who's warning him about using the fist. Scott Studd with a forearm to the midsection. They have hit him with a fist there. He's got it doubled up. No doubt about it. Scott returned the favor and nailed Reggie beside.
Scott Studd, feeling good. Don't get too confident, Scott. Oh, Dave! Across the way, we didn't hardly get to see it. Miss Texas nailed Reggie 1, 2, 3, and Scott Studd got him. The winner, Scott Studd.
Reggie B. finding himself in all sorts of trouble. First with Miss Texas, and then the shoulders into the mat securely by that man you just saw, Scott Studd, who gets the victory here today.
Reggie B. with problems. Reggie couldn't turn around without getting in trouble.
Hey, that tramp caused me another match, man. I am simply calling.
I tell you what, Reggie, she probably beat you the same way she beat me Monday night with those extra hands she got. She thinks everybody out here debate whether she's a woman, whether she's a man. She's neither one of those. She's out here impersonating a monkey. That's what she is. She's a monkey. And I'll challenge you to any fight, any night, Miss Texas. Come Monday night, I'll challenge you, yeah. Because I'm better than you in anything, no matter what it is, singing, dancing, looking good, first of all. That's the main thing. I'm better than you looking good. And then when I get you in the ring Monday night, we're going to come back and have a challenge. That's what I want to do, because I'm fed up with it. And that's all I got to say.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You issue a challenge, Miss Texas, she just flat liable to step right up and take you on right now. We're going to take time out. We're going to be back in just a moment.
Main event match coming up here very, very shortly. First, a couple of guys who seem to be content only when they have 2 against 1, 3 against 1, 3 against 2. They have to have the numbers in their favor, and as a result, they have been after Wolfie D, squirting stuff in his eyes, throwing powder, all sorts of things. You think it's funny. We don't think it's funny at all.
Hey, Patches, where you at? It's just like I told him before. Wolfie D, you're in a man's world now. And what it amounts to is every time we come after you, we're going to try to break a leg. We're going to try to break an arm. You said you was going to make a career out of this. It's going to be a short-lived career. You can take that to the bank, Wolfie D.
And you know what, Dave Brown? Let me shed a little light on what was said out here earlier. Oh, Wolfie D come out here and said that he dreamed of growing up to be a big, bad wrestler. Well, when he said that, the police have done come in the back and got him for impersonating a wrestler because he don't know what wrestling's about. But see, Wolfie's got this little problem, Dave Brown. I come out here earlier, I was going to ask little Jamie Dundee, J.C. Ice. I was going to ask, could I do anything to help Wolfie D? You know, he's got that eyesight problem, right, Dave?
Yes, he does, thanks to you guys.
So what I did and all that thanks to us, I was going to come out and I was going to be apologetic. And I went and got this cup, Dave Brown. You can see it's got Wolfie's name on it. And I was going to give this to him and let him go down to the corner and let him get him a little change so he could get him an eye operation. But Wolfie D, you must not have learned your lesson. You're not messing with no little boys. You're not messing with anybody from the hood. You said you had a dream. Well, boy,
Your dream better be living. And if you want to live, you better take your butt out of wrestling right now and go back to the hood.
Well, we've already mentioned that Wolfie D is not backing up from these guys, even though they keep going after that eye. Let's go to Corey right now.
Yeah, Dave, we're ready for our main event. Main event today on USWA Wrestling. First introducing a combined weight of 483 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Wildfire Tommy Rich, and his partner from Lexington, Tennessee, Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Their opponents today, a combined weight of 691 pounds from the swamp of Louisiana. Led to the ring by Miss Texas, Rex and Spot, the Moondogs. Our main event today on USWA Championship Wrestling.
And the Moondogs step into the ring. Gilbert and Rich both step out of the ring. And look out, he got him down on the floor. Back in the ring, it's Doug Gilbert and Moondog Rex. Not a lot of time for the main event here today, but we wanted to get it underway and bring you what we could of it.
It got underway in the Moondog fashion.
It did.
It didn't take long.
And they're back on the floor, all four of them. Oh, look out, look out, look out. Whoop.
Doug Gilbert comes up off that desk, nailing Moondog Rex hard, and back in the ring is Wildfire Tommy Rich and Moondog Spot in just a lay-down brawl. We knew it would be it, and looking forward to it. Gilbert and Rich need somebody to rough them around a little, the way they've been doing with PG-13. Gilbert choking away on Spot. Back over behind the bleachers, Rex and Dangerous Doug Gilbert. And there comes Doug, rolled back in the ring. All four of them, Dave, in action.
They are. They were in the crowd there for a while. Now everybody back in the ring. Moondog Spot working on Tommy Rich back in the corner. Rex has the advantage on Dangerous Doug, but not for long. Dangerous Doug just nailed him with a big right fist. Got him with another one. And Doug unwrapping some of that tape that he tapes his wrist with and is using it to choke the Moondog. Moondog Spot with a cover. Count of two. Whoa.
Got about a minute to go in our time limit as we're running short on it. And it has been a 2-on-2 all the way. 4 people involved since the very opening, which was unorthodox to say the least. Miss Texas on the outside trying to get the Moondog stirred up, and as Rex came in, he got nailed with a foot from Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Tommy Rich over on Spot. He also has some of that tape unwound. 30 seconds to go in our time limit, Dave.
Wind it down here. Everybody still in the ring. Tommy Rich with his hand wrapped around Moondog Spot's throat. Doug Gilbert choking the other one. Both Moondogs being choked in the opposite corners there. Now Moondog Spot comes out of there with a right hand. Rich is blocked. Down to the mat he goes. Rolls under the ropes, and time has expired.
On the floor where they started the match, the time has expired. As Dave said, we have to take a break, and we'll be back with some final stuff. Do indeed love it when we have a lot of different kind of action going on in the USWA studio.
Sometimes it gets a little close, though, today, huh?
Oh, boy.
Well, we had the King to get things going today. Newly crowned unified champion as he won the belt. He came out here not in a title match today, although Big Daddy Cyrus came out saying, hey, if you're a real people's champion, you'll put the belt on the line. Well, Lawler wisely refused to do that and gave the reason why. Then all of a sudden, I think that became a little more clear why Cyrus was asking for that.
because we had Crusher Bone hanging by. You're not going to see one without the other, apparently. And these guys do love to jump people from behind.
And they turned it into a 2 against 1. Then Brian Christopher, superstar Bill Dundee. These two really having some problems with each other. At this interview right here, Bill Dundee had said some things, and Brian took exception to it, and then you saw Bill slap Brian Christopher right there. Then it really started getting intense, and I started getting out of the way as quickly as I could. And they went at it before finally they got them apart. But that one is not yet settled.
No, not by a long shot. But I do believe that we are going to end up with a situation where there will be a little more definite direction of it when they meet in the ring. And that's the thing they want. You know, I was interested in one of the things that Bill Dundee had to say. He says, however Billy says it, he says, you remind me of me back a few years when I was arrogant and all of this and a pretty good athlete and son of a gun. I got to tell you, he's absolutely right. That Brian Christopher is some full of it, and this guy is a contender and a half. I can't wait for that doggone match to happen when Brian puts the belt on.
I know it. And then we also found out that Rich and Gilbert have not been as successful as they would wish in eliminating Wolfie D from competition. PG-13 still together, and they'll be showing up.
Going to take a lot to get those guys out. We got to get out of here. For Corey Backlund and Dave Brown, this is Lance Russell saying see you next week, and bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.